Yay!
Yay! Hey y'all, it's Arwen of Tarot by Arwen.
And this is Ember Honey Raven, the Big Fat Witch. How are you guys?
Y'all, we've been having just heck to go. Hang on, I'm trying to make sure this silly thing is running. Okay, everybody look at the boobs.
Ooh, look, it's Boob TV. I told Arwen that, we could sell tickets to Boob TV. I'm buying. I'm buying.
Okay, I cannot tell what it's doing. It says it's recording, so we're just going to believe it.
We're going to believe it.
So, I have applied some of my limited edition badass oil from Miss Dorothy Morrison.
Woo! There we go.
And I'm ready. So,
hey, I was going to ask you, I saw that she was doing a really nice sale on some of her candles and stuff. Is that still going on?
it's all month, but it's limited edition. I mean, I jumped on it literally. I stayed up till she hit start on the thing so I could jump on it right away. I was probably one of the first 10 people that jumped in there.
Oh, yeah.
But yeah, she's got some really nice stuff, some limited edition stuff. It's social media only, so you can only find it by going to her webpage and being her friend or following her on Twitter. So,
Nice.
yeah. Why are you? Oh no, we do not want to update Java now. Thanks, computer.
Your
Really?
computer is a butthole.
Right? It says it's recording, but I don't see the recording, but it says it's recording, so we'll just go with that. Y'all, it has been a week. How has your week been? I know you've had kind of a slam busy at work, but how's it been otherwise?
I personally am having a great week. I'm not real sure what's going on in the atmosphere. I feel like something's going on because there are some people around me that are having some stuff, and there's some energy that's kind of, man, I don't even know how to characterize it.
Cray cray.
Yeah, it's a little cray-cray.
Well, I was on Facebook today and noticed one of my friends who's an author. She's written a book, has another one coming out, and she posted an Instagram. It was super cute. She's hiding behind her keyboard, telling her fans that somebody comes on there and tells her just to give it up. She's not all that. She just wrote one book. She needs to dial it back down.
Oh, Lord.
I'm like, who cares about your opinion, person of no import?
Yeah, maybe that's a good topic for this week, too. I've seen a couple of different artists, and I consider people who write books, they're artists. Writing is an art form. Painting is an art form. Singing is an art form. Public speaking is an art form. And I've seen some people who do their art in a public way really be on the receiving end of some really unnecessary rudeness, unnecessary negativity. And I don't know what that's about, but maybe we should talk about ways to kind of encapsulate that so that we're not affected. Because I know that it's been going around YouTube a little bit too, with some comments and things like that.
Yeah, I had somebody on mine, and do you know who Rana George is?
Who?
Rana George?
Yes.
Yeah, she's gorgeous, right? I mean, she's freaking drop dead beautiful. And somebody singled her out, like friended her, just to tell her that she was a fat, ugly tramp.
Wow.
I'm like, who? Who is your mother? Who raised you like that? I mean, I go back to that Southern thing of, where's your home training, child? Because you don't have any.
Exactly. I'm going to tell you something. People always show you who they are by their thoughts, actions, and deeds. And I'm going to tell you personally, because I've lived most of my life as a not just a fat person, but a morbidly obese fat person, a supersized person. And I'm still a fat person, but 350 is in a certain range. That you're a lot more visibly fat than maybe you are at 150. And I'm always a little bit perplexed when someone uses fat as a put down, because that tells me, wow, you think that having a large body is worthy of, ugly commentary. And I just thought, who told you that someone else's body was any of your fucking business?
Amen. Yeah, yeah. And I mean, people who do that, and I was angry. I was angry on her behalf. And she was laughing it off. She was like, yeah, oh well. She's a very cool lady, and if you're trying to learn the Norman, she or Donna Le Delarose, the go-tos for me. But, I just don't understand it. I've had somebody come to a Facebook page where they showed their butt. Somebody came to my YouTube page, showed their butt, and I was firm but polite, and at one point I think I was not so polite. But, that's my new motto this year is if you show your ass, I'm going to hand it back to you.
Or you're going to kick it.
And I'm pretty good at that, because it doesn't, calling me names, okay, whatever. I will get mad if you go in and attack my followers and my friends. I had that just happen yesterday or today, I don't remember. Somebody, a friend of a friend commented about something I posted, and another friend of a friend, these weren't even people I know, said, well, I disagree, and it was a very pleasant disagreement. It wasn't ugly. And this person came back and called them a high horse riding asshole and a moron.
Ooh.
Now, I give them points for the high horse riding asshole, because that was a nice combination of two. But
yeah,
whoa, people, whoa. When did our sense of entitlement? If I'm mad at somebody, I think somebody's stupid, I'm going to talk to my friends in private.
Right.
Right? I'm going to call Ember and say, that tie-dye Bridget's an idiot. Ha ha, Bridget.
Yeah.
But she knows I'm not going to do that. But I'm not going to go out on the web and make a video about how bad I think Bridget is, and she posts pictures of her grandbaby, and her grandbaby's too cute, so I think that's bad.
Yeah.
Why?
It kind of, I don't know, it's a little bit of a head trip when someone that you don't even know on really any level at all puts the energy forth into trying to tear you down. That's a head trip. And the really sadistic side of me, I sometimes find it really hard not to feed off of that. Because, I'm just going to own my shit here. There's a part of me that really gets an ego trip when someone else hates me. And I'm going to use hate in quotes here, because I actually think there's something else going on. When someone else hates me enough that they think they need to tell the world about what a bad person I am, that tells me I'm under their skin a little more than they would like for me to be. And sometimes, when that happens, sometimes it's not because of what you do, it's because of who you are.
Yeah.
And Arwen, you're a great example. I think that you probably could be intimidating to some people because you're a self-actualized woman and you don't put up with any shit. And, and there are some people that they don't have that within themselves. And so instead of looking to you as a guide stone or a beacon and going, wow, I can be that kind of person, they are like, how dare she be that kind of person that I don't have the tools to be, or whatever. And I'm not even trying to make it an ugly thing. That's how I rationalize people's behavior sometimes. I think, wow, they must really be either disempowered or unhappy, or they must really be sad in their personal lives if they have to go and do that to somebody else. That's how I kind of keep my own head positive about it. Because that stuff is really not about you at the end of the day. It's about that other person.
It is. And I think you hit on something really important about, because I do, when I get out of my catty bitchy mode, which I have in spades, baby, But when
I
I
do
get
too,
out of
girl.
that, yeah, I realize, I think I'm so sorry for that person that they're in
Yes.
such pain because I know where I was when I used to be that mean girl, that mean person who always
Yes.
lashed out. And I was in a lot of emotional pain. I was in a really toxic place in my life. And I
Yes.
really am sorry for the people. I mean, I know it sounds kind of cheesy, and I own that, but I have sympathy for whatever is happening in their lives that's causing them to be so mean. It's like
Yes.
it's so ugly inside. You've just got to let it out, and you've got to target it. And maybe it's better that they target people that don't know them or don't really. They're not in my tribe, in my sphere of consciousness. So
Right.
it's like comets coming across. I'm like, what the fuck was that?
You know, so I kind of think about, okay, so real life example. Kellyanne Maddox. You watch her, right?
I do. I love her.
She has an amazing channel. She is incredible. I love her channel. Um, and she's very well known on YouTube and in this community. She's got a lot of subscribers, and she's just amazing. Um, I think she would be a great example of someone who, you know, someone could look at her and go, that Kellyanne's got all those subscribers. I bet she thinks she's the shit. And clearly, if you've ever watched any of her videos, you know that that is not how Kellyanne operates. She's just doing herself in the best way that she can and trying to give back as much as she can. And she's a great example of someone, when I first came on YouTube, I never had a moment of jealousy or intimidation about her. I thought, wow, that's what I want to do. I want to emulate that kind of energy, that kind of eloquence, that kind of giving spirit. That's what I want to do. And I guess I'm a little bit naive in the fact that I thought that, coming on YouTube and just being authentic would be enough to show people who you are. But clearly, sometimes people are going to have an issue either way,
Mm-hmm. Well, and I understand people having an issue.
Yeah.
I do. I get it. Maybe you don't like the way I teach tarot. Okay,
Yeah,
that's cool. There's plenty of other tarot readers and teachers. Go find you one.
absolutely.
It's not like you have to stand there and shout outside my house that I'm awful.
Right. And, I think some really simple things that you can do. Well, my goodness, girl, are you going to fall over dead on camera?
I am. It'll sell a lot of tickets.
I've employed a couple of things over the last couple of years. I don't, how you've always said, don't feed the trolls. I really have followed that mantra as far as, like, if someone engages with me negatively, depending on how severe the comment is, I may ignore it the first time and just kind of move on. I don't respond. But if someone comes at me a couple of times and they're just not, they're just ugly, I'll probably block them from my channel or just delete the comment and go on, because I am not required to allow ugly comments to affect my life. Nobody is.
Yeah, exactly. And you have to wonder why. Is it a sense of entitlement that we feel it's okay to go and say to somebody, what you're doing I don't like?
Right.
Now if you were out there telling people that you advocated digging up dead bodies, cutting their parts up, and cooking them in a soup, I might have to make a comment. Might.
That's not okay?
Damn it, Amber, we had this talk. but I might have to say to you, and if I didn't know you, now see that there again for me, if I didn't know you, why do I think that my comment, I don't know you, you don't know me, we don't have any personal interaction, why do I think my opinion would matter to you?
Right.
That's what I don't get.
You know what the tone of a lot of what I see, and it's not even just about my channel or your channel, I've seen this happen to a lot of different people. There's a tone to some of the stuff that happens across social media. And it seems to be, if I had to put it in a visual, it's someone waggling their finger and saying, "You're not doing it right." And it's a tone, it is an entitlement, and it kind of is this thing that gets reinforced over and over again, where if we all don't agree on the thing that needs to be done, then clearly it's not being done right. And I'm thinking, don't we value diversity, though, in the way that we believe and in the way that we live? I mean, I do. I know you do.
Yeah, yeah. Well, I did have I just, on my most recent, the YouTube Pagan Challenge about cultural influences.
Right.
I said a lot, and Angel of Satan, I don't know if you know, or it's Seitan.
Yes, she's one of my giveaways. She's fantastic.
She's wonderful. And she had a different opinion to what I said and gave me a very concise, well thought out response that didn't at any point say, "Arwen, I think you're a fuckhead."
Right.
You know, she clearly didn't agree with what I said, and she clearly had good reasons for it. And I told her that she'd given me points and thoughts to think about.
Right.
You know, because she had. I didn't say, "Oh, you're a bitch, I don't want to ever see you again." And that's how good communication happens, because we're not always going to agree, you know. Right. And if I do protection work around me and around things that I do, which I do, you know, I want to leave it open, and I don't want to say anybody who disagrees with me can't come in.
Right.
You know, because that's how I learn and grow, and I know that's how you learn. I've seen you in heated debates, and somebody will say something, and your response is, "Huh, I hadn't actually thought of that. Let me take some time and chew that one up and see how that works."
Yep.
You know, so, and it's diversity.
It is. And I think, you know, one of the very practical things that I think we can all do when we're interacting with people that are different from us is just lay your defenses down. And I'm not saying don't be ready for, you know, behavior to come your way that you don't want. You really need to be prepared at all times to draw your boundaries. But just don't be defensive. If you ask someone to tell you about their experience and they start telling you that and it starts kind of pushing up on your comfort zones, just remember, don't be defensive. Just listen, you know. Mm-hmm. And honestly, and this goes for YouTube and everything, if you don't like what somebody is saying, you're allowed to walk away, you know. And if you start watching a video that you don't like, you're allowed to turn it off.
Yeah. Yeah. And if you don't turn it off and they've got it monetized like I do, like Ember does, like Kelly does, like so many do, you're giving us money the longer you watch.
Yes. And that's why, you know, honestly, even the, even the people that watch that don't agree, I'm like, well, thank you for watching, because I'm getting my quarters. I'm getting my dollars. I appreciate that. You know?
Yeah. She's at quarters. I'm still at nickels, but that's okay. I'm not jealous. But really, and I do think jealousy has something to do with it. I think this color comes into play.
Yeah.
You know, but what do you do about it? What are things that you can do as a witch to protect your space if your space is virtual?
You know, I'm going to tell you, I do a lot of visualization when it comes to the net. So kind of like if I was going to make a protection barrier around my home, I may light some candles at the corners. I may salt ring. I may do some purification type things, but I also may lay down a ring of chili peppers so that if anyone does cross me, they'll get their ass burned up if they don't have good intentions. You know, I think a lot of that can also translate to the cyber world. Light your space up with joy and not just a candle. Live your life authentically and do you, and just be joyous. And one of my big things is I won't, and I have been guilty of this, but I really try not to go online when I'm feeling really negative about something and make videos in response to some of the stuff that pisses me off. Mm-hmm. It's really difficult sometimes. But I try to do that. I try to just, I try to be a light. And, some people I think confuse light with positive and light workers and all that. I don't work in the light 100% of the time because I think that like the universe, we have to balance our workings. And I don't equate, and I don't equate dark workings with evil workings a lot of times.
Yeah.
You know, but I also will say this, you know, there are some practical things like deleting negative comments. You know, there are some people that say, oh, I never delete anything. Well, good for you, but I'm deleting negative comments because what I'm not going to do is provide a stage for someone with shitty shoes to tap dance across.
Yeah, and because you have friends like me who will engage for your protection, and that happened on mine, and I will fully admit, I went on Facebook and said, somebody's being mean to me on YouTube. Send. Sick 'em. And I did it. You know, and I did it with thought, with intention, and with knowledge. I knew that people would go out there and chew that person a new butt. You know, and it was at the point where I had tried.
Yes.
You know, but this person actually did engage one of my followers before I did that. They went and said that they were stupid for following me because I was obviously an idiot, basically. Which, okay, I'm okay with that. I can be an idiot. I'm good with that. But, you know, so, but yeah, and I'm totally, totally guilty of the dog pile attack in that case. You know, I did it. And after I did it, I had a talk with myself that when something like this, Arwen, you know better. Not only did you feed the trolls, you sicked the tribe on them. Yes, but she deserved it. No, Arwen. You think she deserved it because you had your butt hurt. You know, I wasn't butt hurt by what she said. I was butt hurt by the fact that I went in and calmly explained what she had missed, and she still yelled at me.
Yes.
And that's what made me mad. So,
you know what? I think you get triggered by the same thing that I do when it comes to not feeling heard or understood, because that is something that is huge for me. If I have taken the time to explain my position on something and someone doesn't listen to the most important part and kind of repeats back what they thought I said, which is actually probably 180 degrees from what I actually said, it really pisses me off because it's like you're not listening. You're not even listening. It's like you're hell-bent on being angry. And so rather than engage with the truth, you're engaging with what you think is the truth. And that's a huge trigger for me too, because nobody likes to be painted as other than what they are. Nobody likes to be misunderstood.
Yeah. And it was definitely, and I'll tell y'all what it was. She looked at the main video for the tarot scopes on Sunday, where I say, here's a quote, here's a dex I'm going to use, here's an oracle for the full week. And I probably didn't say, and all your signs are in the drop down. I may have missed that. But I told her that. I said, just click more. Everything's down there. You know, but she was angry. She wanted to stay angry. Mm-hmm. And then, of course, you know, it got ugly. It's not it was pretty mild.
Yes.
In terms of past interactions I've had with people online.
Yes, and I will tell you, YouTube, I have saved some stuff from YouTube that is hysterical. So I had a gentleman come on my channel and threatened to shoot me. Probably, it's been 2 to 3 weeks ago. And I just thought, okay, here is a cray-cray person. So I went on and reported him to YouTube, and they sent me back and said, we have not found a violation of the YouTube standards. So I forwarded back to YouTube at their email, and I said, you know, if this is not a violation and you've put that in writing, I'm going to be posting this all over social media, because your users need to know that you don't consider threats of violence or bodily harm serious. Next thing I know, that user was completely gone. They actually took his entire channel down, and he had videos up, which was really strange. But you know, you can't take things like that personally. It feels real personal when someone threatens to do something to you or burn your house down or, you know, come kick your ass or whatever. it feels real personal when someone says you're a meanie poo-poo head. It feels personal when people, they don't necessarily say your name in videos, but they're definitely talking about you, and everybody knows they're talking about you, and they think they're cute. That feels personal.
And how fourth grade is that?
Very.
I'm sorry, I'll be 55 years old in less than a month. And and that shit is so fucking juvenile that it makes me cuss.
It is.
But yeah, I'm sorry, guys. If you got a problem with me, come tell me.
Yeah.
And then tell me why.
And 9 times out of 10, it'll be crickets. It's, it goes back to some of that stuff where there's a disempowerment of the person, and they don't have the voice. And, I try to keep that in mind when people say things that feel personal. It's like, that's not about me.
I wonder if a better protection spell or a better spell to do would be one to empower. Let me think about this, but to empower, let's just say Bridget. I'm going to keep picking on Bridget. Let's just say that
we can pick on Bridget because she is so easily pickable, and she's about as pure as they get. So
I adore her. But let's just say that that I'm mad at Brit. No, she's mad at me. What if I did a spell, and I knew she was mad at me. What if I did a spell that said, I'm sending energy to empower Bridget to speak her truth?
I like it.
And I don't like doing spells that are like, I wouldn't do a spell to make Angie like me better, because that's a spell to manipulate your will. But right. I might send energy at Angie to, have something simpatico happen between us. Maybe if we had an argument, I might do work on trying to see how we could smooth that out, and sending energy that said, I'm ready to smooth this out. Come to me if you're ready. And I might do that if Bridget were the one angry at me. I might say, I send energy to Bridget to let her know that it is safe to come speak to me, that she can speak her truth, even if she's angry at me and stays angry at me, but to be able to say it to me without hiding, without being small, because that's making yourself small.
It is. It's, and I'll tell you something. I have done a mirror spell on someone in the past, and it was a positive mirror spell, but it basically was, I wanted to hold a mirror up in front of that person so that they could see their reflection and not keep directing their stuff at me. And what that did was I didn't invade their space with that. I didn't invade their entitlement to their own free will with that. Mm-hmm. What I did was say, I want to put a barrier up between me and them, but I want their side to have a mirror on it. Yeah. I want them to see their own behavior in the reflection. I want them to understand that their behavior has consequences, and I want to be blocked from that. Yeah. Worked like a charm, literally a charm.
Well, and mirror spells are one of the most useful spells out there, because yes. I can put myself in a mirror box with all the mirrors pointing in and surround myself with positive energy, and basically to spell to charge up my positive nature and to beef up my self-esteem, because I suffer from low self-esteem. You know this. Other people may not know it, and they may not believe it, but it is true. So I can put myself in that box. I can put, if Ember is sick, I can put Ember in a box and focus all the healing. If Ember's under attack and she says, hey, Arwen, I need help, I can put Ember in that box and put all the mirrors facing out.
Right.
And all the mirrors have, I do sigils and stuff like that. We'll just be vague. Vague YouTubing. It's like vague Facebook, but with more face.
Yes, but with accountability.
But yeah, to send out to block what's coming at you. Yes. And I have put people in mirror boxes. I have done what can only be called a hex against yes. people who were after a friend of mine, and it was nasty. They were KKK, and she was a black woman. It was a very nasty, nasty incident. And a group I worked with, we got together and we did some hella work. Okay, we did some, and you have to know that when you do that work, you tie yourself to those people.
Yes, you do.
You know, and that's the big piece of it that people forget. You know, if I wish Ember luck, yeah, luck can come back to me. It goes to the threefold law, and I'll probably do a talk on this at some point, but I'm going to do something really quick on the threefold law. Can you see this?
Yes.
Okay, I'm going to fold it once. I'm going to fold it twice. I'm going to fold it 3 times. Now, how many layers are there?
Right.
More than 3, people. More than 3. It's not coming back at you 3 times. It's coming back 3-fold. So,
Yep.
you know, and what you put out there, when I put joy out there, I get joy back. When I put negative out there, I get negative back. And so when I put negative out there, you can bet your butt I've either really thought it out or I'm so pissed off I can't think.
Right.
Your choice. But, you know, and people talk about, oh, that's karma. Don't get me started. Karma is not instant. You do not add retribution and stir.
No.
Karma is, that's the Western concept of karma. And karma in the Eastern sense is much bigger. Much.
It is. You know, you just really stirred something for me talking about threefold. And you know, I'm not Wiccan, but I do appreciate the threefold law. I do appreciate the concept of what you give is what you get. I absolutely will go with that. I mean, that feels true and right to me. I think it works that way with empowerment.
Yeah.
I think that if you spend a lot of time of empowering other people, and especially women, because y'all know I'm a big old feminist, but it's Arwen's like, but especially other witches, warlocks, witches, people that are kind of in this curtain with us. I think if you spend a lot of time empowering other people, new witches, witches who have been out of the life for a while that are coming back, witches who are unsure of themselves, witches who don't want to be on YouTube because they think that their teeth are ugly or whatever. I think if you spend, you're such a goober.
I hate my teeth, people.
I hate my teeth, but we're smiling. I think if you spend time really putting energy into building other people up, you yourself are being built up. And the same thing with if you spend a lot of time tearing people down, you are eventually going to suffer the consequences of that. And whether you call that threefold or karma, sometimes it's just internal shit that you have to go to bed with at night, that you've put all this acid in the universe, and you've got to sit with that. And that may feel really good in the moment, but you know, you add acid to a boiling pot of water over time, and it's not drinkable anymore.
Well, it's like eating a hot pepper. It may taste good the first time, but it's going to hurt coming out.
Yes, it will.
You know,
Ugh.
to go all southern on y'all. And I do eat hot peppers, just so you know.
But I was like, girl, that was so southern.
That's like catching a coon by the tail and trying to pull him up the tree. Okay, sorry.
Oh, my Lord, y'all, the Louisiana is showing.
It's true. But I really think that, you know, and people need to understand that sometimes protecting yourself is simply being your most authentic self. And saying, and my sister taught me this. Somebody was trying to be, and my sister and I are both in our 50s, right? But this was not that long ago, maybe 10, 15, maybe 20 years. And she said, somebody was trying to be mean to her. And she said, what I did was I went to them and I said, Ember, what you said hurt me. Is that what you wanted it to do?
Mm-hmm.
And not really meanly.
That's powerful.
Yeah. You know, and she said she found that some people would say, well, no, that's not, and back down, or correct what she thought. You know, and the people she said that went, yes, I did, and it was kind of shitty of me. She had a lot of respect for him.
Right.
You know, because people were honest. And being authentic, y'all, is one of the hardest things in the world. Because you have to be vulnerable if you're authentic.
Yes. It is really scary. But I'm going to tell you, too, it is ballsy as fuck to do you the way that you want to do you with everybody watching, and to say out loud and to yourself, I know this is probably not what other people want from me, or maybe it feels a little scary, but this is what feels good to me, and I'm doing that. I think that's ballsy as hell, and I am always lit on fire when I see other people doing that.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. Do you read Danielle Laporte?
Yes, I do.
Did you read her newsletter today?
I did. Oh my gosh. Amazing.
Y'all, it's just, I actually posted it to my Facebook. It just blew me away because basically what she said was, it was about being emotional and too emotional and being shut down for being too emotional. Yes. And she likened it to bullying.
Yes.
You know, telling somebody, oh, you're too emotional is, you know, why are we doing that?
It's a way to try to control other people's feelings. And it's like, nobody has the right to do that. You have the right to control your own feelings. You have the right to control your space, but you don't have the right to tell other people how to be or feel or do or whatever. And I think that's kind of the biggest lesson that I've learned from YouTube in the last 2 years, is that you're allowed to do you, and you have the ability to do you, because you can film yourself and put it up, and you're in the privacy of your own home. You're relatively safe. You do become relatively unsafe the moment you hit publish.
Yeah.
Because then you're wide open for everybody's opinions of you, and there will be some people who think that they have the right to give you their opinion. And I'm of the mindset right now that, okay, you can give me your opinion if it's done with respect, but the stuff that is designed to be ugly, the stuff that is designed to make you feel bad about yourself or to just cause chaos, that's not anything constructive. And you do get to build a mirror wall around that. Mm-hmm. And I loved what she said about the way that, you know, your emotions are scary to other people. And, you know, people sometimes will try to bully that out of you because they can't handle sometimes the consequences of what they've done or said.
Yeah.
But I love that she really put words to the thing that happens when we are doing us and it makes other people uncomfortable, you know?
Yeah, absolutely. Now I want to move from this to something really positive.
Yes.
I want to end on something super positive. I saw you get complimented on the U.S. Games Facebook today.
You did! Oh my gosh!
One of the people on Facebook, Lynn, said she had seen this great review video of the Le Grand Circus and Sideshow Tarot.
I love that one.
And linked your video.
Sweet!
And they've got almost 12,000 people on their page now, so...
Wow. That's a lot of people. I love that. I so enjoy doing tarot reviews, and I love it when you do them because you've got such a long experience with tarot that I'll watch your review sometimes, and I always watch, if we're going to review the same deck, I always watch yours after I do mine so that I'm not tainted. But it's really interesting to see the juxtaposition between someone who's worked with tarot basically for their entire life versus I'm pretty new to it, and to see how our takes are sometimes really, really similar and sometimes very wildly different. I really enjoy that.
Yeah, I loved watching your video. I mean, I really did. Because we both keyed in on the fat woman as Empress was like, brilliant.
Yes, I thought, oh my God, he is an amazing artist, period. You know, but that deck, I so resonated with it. He had all different types of presentations.
Yeah.
Because the circus really, to me, is a great metaphor for life. You have fat people, skinny people, black people, white people. You have differently abled people, people with different talents, people who do different jobs. That deck resonated so hard with me just in the diversity of it. I loved it.
Yeah. Well, are we going to be able to look for some more reviews from you?
I'm thinking so. I'm thinking there will be quite a few more.
Good. And I saw you did Tarot of Dreams. Now, somebody told me that it's not Ciro, it's Cairo.
Is it Cairo? Okay.
I'm going to ask him. I don't know. I've always said Ciro.
You know what? I would believe that because my country ass does not know how to pronounce fancy names. So I just pronounced it phonetically.
Right? I'm from America. Zero.
Mer-
Marchetti.
So tell me, by the way, tell me something positive you have going on this week.
Well, I'm working on a super secret project.
Ooh.
I am writing for an oracle deck. I can't talk much about it, but it's by it's not by somebody known for their tarot work, but I've seen their work and was blown away. It was so gorgeous. So I'm really excited about that. So I've been working on that, and that's been fun. And I've been working on crochet.
Whee! I love that.
That's really been taking up a lot when we sit down and watch TV. In fact, you're lucky that I'm not sitting here doing this, but I thought that might be a little distracting.
Oh, girl, I wouldn't even blink. Well, I'm going to show you. This is something that I'm working on.
I hate you. I hate you. I hate you. I hate you. Everybody, I hate Ember. Somebody tell her that. Oh my God, that's gorgeous.
Finding one for you.
I love you.
You guys, I had to text Arwen and taunt her because I came across this. Yes, and I'm out of my no-buy January, thank goodness. I came across this Big Daddy. And actually, Big Mama, she's very, very female. I found her, and she was a crazy, crazy good price. And I had to text Arwen and taunt her because I knew that she would want one. And there was only one in the store, but I am going back. I'm going to go back a couple of times in the next week to see if they get one because, and they're huge. I mean, like, just as a for instance, this is my iPhone. So you can see, I mean, this is it's a nice piece.
It's gorgeous. Don't put it in the sun. You know that, right?
Yeah, and you know, it's really interesting too. I think that LED lights actually affect these too because I have another small piece. I don't know where it went to. I had a small piece of amethyst that I've had for a couple of years now, and it has turned almost completely white. And I have had it out of everything but LED light, which I'm okay with that. If the color gets drained, I would prefer it not. But yeah, I'm going to have to really start being a little more careful with these. And I didn't know rose quartz would do that too.
If it's heat treated.
Oh, okay.
It might have been heat treated. Might have been heat treated.
Well, I'm going to be careful with her because she's beautiful.
Oh, she's just gorgeous.
Look at that. Look at all these
oh, stop. Okay.
I love you, girl.
So thank you so much for joining me again. I really appreciate it. And
it's
just
always a pleasure.
Have a lovely damn night, and everybody seek joy, y'all.
Yes, seek joy. It's been great.
And have a big, fat, happy, witchy life.
Yes! We love you.
Bye, y'all.